Welcome to Daily. I'm your host. So, crowdsourcing. When the term was first kind of developed, it was a neat thing. It was get everybody to work together to accomplish a goal. One of the earliest things I remember reading about or researching, I believe it was in the book Four Pillars of Investing, where it was kind of talking about the benefits of index funds versus choosing stocks and everything like that. Most of that information, I'm not 100% certain. I mean, I suppose it would still kind of work, but things these days are a little bit crazy. But the example that he gave in that book was attempting to find like U-boats in World War II. So given the same information to a bunch of different people, they would all provide guesses as to where this U-boat was. So they essentially were crowdsourcing the answer. Now, not any of the people were consistently right, but the average of all of them was consistently pretty close. Now, I don't even know how accurate that was or anything along those lines, but it is a story that I remember. Why do I bring that up, you ask, imaginary listener? Well, I almost forgot to do this today. It was really hot, and I laid down for a nap, and when I woke up, my mind was elsewhere, and almost spaced it. So, I decided to do a search for some poetry or stories about napping. I think I actually searched for an ode to napping. And I found something that I thought was quite interesting. The link will be in the show notes and the poem will as well. But NPR has a poet in residence, or had a poet in residence, named Kwame Alexander. Kwame Alexander recently challenged listeners to write a poem about napping or anything related, sleeping, dreaming, relaxing. From school kids to the elderly, they received over 1,200 poems from across the country. Alexander took that stuff, essentially crowdsourced this poem, and this is what he came up with. A blanket of words. If I could, I would like us to take a break. I would like us to contemplate how much better we all are with rest. I would like to take a restoring nap upon my king-size bed, to pile my pillows all around my head. A soft, warm, handmade quilt, my cozy nook to curl up with my favorite book into a blanket of words. Let's read each other bedtime stories as I drift into unconsciousness, disconnecting from today. I'd like to pause just for a few precious moments to calm my mind, to slide from my world of lists and piles of laundry of last night's dishes in the sink. I would like to rest, but I have a test. I like to sleep, but my work is too deep. I like to give in to the pull of my eyelids, begging to close, but the email in front of me deserves a reply, so I sigh deeply and shrug, resisting their tug, and attempt once again to compose. I'd like to hide away for a bit of shut-eye in the middle of the day to the soft, quiet spaces of the old couch before the fire, dogs snoring at my feet, new snow drifting outside my window. I like to lay my head on a pillow, soft as a feather bed, and let my body sink into repose as my eyelids slowly close. I would like to pull the pinpoint stars down from the sky. I'd weave soft moonbeams through them. Excuse me. I'd weave soft moonbeams through them. To climb the stairs my imagination made, I would like to be a bird, unburdened. I'd like to be me, unbound. I just want to nap and wonder and wander and dream of letting go, ego dissolving like honey and tea. Dreams where we can be everything we've ever wanted to be. I would like to be asleep, in my bed, unable to access the dread in my head. In my dreams, food, money, and life lack relevance, and I would play with magic monkeys. I would like to live in a world where we dream when we fall asleep and do not face a nightmare when we wake. When I was a little girl, I had dreams of powers that could change the world. In my dreams, I could fly. Now I'm 17 and I no longer dream that I could be a fairy queen. I have dreams where I'm invisible and no one can see me. I like answers. Why do we do what we do? Why do we learn how we do? We are no longer curious. We are no longer present. Exhausted, zombies rosing the streets, toiling with no end in sight. We work to eat, we eat to live, we live to work. Real life beckons with every sheep we try to count, and when my head hits the pillow, the whole world falls away. I would like to rest my shoulders from their stand at attention, my brain from constantly narrating. I would like to, but I can't right now. Too much to do, not the right time. I have work to do, places to be. But what if I just flee and sleep endlessly? I like to see you try. A moment of nothing, ceaseless wonder, boundless floors, infinite possibilities, and 1,000 more. I would like to find you in my dream, to hear your voice again, whistling wisdom and wit, stories and songs, sense of freedom, molecules of unconditional love. I would like to meet you in the space between asleep and awake where we belong to both worlds and yet owe nothing to either place. I like to feel again the familiar sensation of my hand in yours as we walked in strange and scary places while my heart beats loudly. I would like to listen more closely than the arrogant child that I was, who often dismissed your speech as dated and irrelevant. I would like to travel in a time machine to before the years passed and you died of old age, to apologize to you. Most of all, though, I would like to hear your joyful exhalation, brief and unmistakable. You're the only one I've ever known to laugh even in your sleep. I would like to awaken in the afternoon sun, soft fingertips lifting an eyelid, your sweet voice. Daddy, Daddy, you in there? If I could, I would like to feel good. Lay on the clouds and not fall through. I'd like to surrender. I'd like to rest in peace. I'd like to rest my heart from the daily stabs of an unkind world. I would like to forget the faces whose judgments crowd my mind. I would like to be your pillow, the firmness to support you, the softness to embrace you. I would like to awaken and find it spring. I'd like to be remembered as a fearless dreamer. I would like to shut my eyes and open my heart to nap, wrapped in silence. I would like to lay down in my bed, wake up better. Rise, ready to battle the challenges every day brings. And then I would like to have another cup of coffee. Greet the bird songs, the willow trees, the warmth of the sun. I would like to meet the bright new day, embraced in love, refreshed, anew, ready to change the world. But first, I will dream of the world I will change. And then I will change it. But for now, I would like to dream. Wow. It was actually the first time I had read that all the way through. You know, it's a genuine reaction. I can tell you what, though, the fact that that's crowdsourced and they kind of got put together and organized in that way, but each person had their own little bit. I think I know what I'm going to be thinking about as I breathe. I must have missed that second bell. That's because my moment had a bunch of mosquitoes in it. I hope yours didn't. Find your gratitude, put it to words, spread those words.